I can't help but notice when I watch the news and go out in public that some Australians are being a bit shit. So I thought, well, maybe we just need a little reminder, not necessarily about all the medical implications of everything, which are significant if no one listens to the medical advice, but just on not being shit and being a bit better. So shit, being racist. Very shit. Shit even when there isn't a COVID or flu epidemic or any kind of epidemic. Being racist is shit. Don't be racist. Especially don't be racist when everyone's already struggling. But being racist is shit. I actually don't know how we're still having these conversations. Racism's never been good. It's just never been a good thing. Racism's shit. Australians are better than that, or should be better than that. Don't be shit. Don't be racist. Easy. Toilet paper. Well, toilet paper isn't shit. It's for shit, usually, amongst other things. But toilet paper isn't shit, but hoarding toilet paper, shit. Shit behaviour. Just, what are you doing? And I know some people are going to be out there like, I don't even have 500 rolls. And that's fine. I get it. But this whole attitude of like, I'll just grab 2 more because just in case later there's none, just because I'll grab wrong, that's shit attitude. Because if everyone buys 3 times the amount of toilet paper they normally buy, guess what happens? There's no bloody toilet paper. So don't be shit, buy what you need. That's it. Not shit, buy what you need. Shit, buying 100, but also a bit shit, buying 2 or 3 times more than normal just because maybe just in case. This just because maybe just in case is closed the supermarkets. Woolworths is closing. It's closing. Like they're just like, we're shutting all the doors everywhere. We're not going to be open because you guys don't know how to play nice with each other and you've eaten everything, which is insane because we know at Woolworths how much you eat and it's not this much. So shit behaviour. Don't be shit. Don't panic buy stuff. Buy what you need and think, what can I leave for other people who might need it and maybe couldn't get there today, this morning, first thing, or maybe couldn't afford it today because their pay's on a different day, or maybe in case something happens to them and they need something in a hurry, or they have to look after someone. I mean, basically just think about someone else. Leave as much as you can rather than take as much as you can, and then there's always stuff for everybody regardless of what happens. So don't be shit, take what you need, buy what you need, don't take it, but buy what you need, leave the rest for other people who also need stuff. Shit behaviour, buying face masks. Everyone I've seen that's, important and knows what they're talking about says that the hospitals and healthcare professionals and stuff need them and they're going to run out because people have bought face masks. Now, I'm not going to go into the medical details of it because I've got no idea, but everything I've read just said if you think you've got COVID or you do have it, maybe wear a face mask then, stop you dribbling on everybody. But if you don't buy a face mask, wash your hands, do the things, clean your house, don't lick stuff on public transport, whatever. Basically be a reasonable, clean, hygienic human and you should be okay. Don't cough in people's faces, cover your mouth and cover it with your elbow. This is the, boom, boom. Do that and that'll stop more people getting sick. Another, look, just a disgraceful thing all the time, 24/7. And I tell you through work, I see this and I hear about it all the time and it already is pretty frustrating, but definitely shit behaviour from Australians and anybody else anywhere in the world, abusing healthcare professionals. Shit behaviour, don't do it. Yes, you're frustrated. Yes, it takes a long time. Yes, they're getting pummeled. It's part of the reason why we need to isolate, self-isolate or, not hang out in huge groups and stuff. Because if too many people get sick at once, it overwhelms the healthcare system. But on top of already being overwhelmed, they don't need people yelling at them, taking their frustrations out on them. The healthcare professionals are doing their best. They always do their best. People yell at them all the time. It's not fair. It's shit behaviour. Don't do it. So, not shit behaviour, appreciating the fact that they're there working while everyone's sick, coming in, coughing on their faces and doing whatever, and they still show up and look after everybody. Shit behaviour, yelling at them because it took too long or because you don't like what they said or whatever. Just give them a break. They're doing their best. People are on it. If you think you've got COVID, you can ring this hotline and then not clog up the system with everybody. And the phone number is, I'll put it in the notes, I'll put it in the thingy as well, 1-800-020-080, that's in Australia. You can call them up, they'll triage you on the phone. So you don't have to go in and cough on everybody or get coughed on or, sit in a room with 1,000 people or get triaged into another clinic. Don't go if you don't need to and don't yell at healthcare professionals. Shit house. Look after them. Be glad they're there. Offer to buy them a coffee. That kind of stuff. Be good. Don't be shit. The last shit thing which again is a shit thing that happens, all the time, but seems to have peaked right now, only caring about stuff that affects you. Guys, people are struggling for a million different reasons. All the problems that existed in the world a month ago continue to exist today. People in bushfire recovery areas are still working on that. There's places that still lost their homes. There's people who are still living in extreme poverty. There's still homelessness. There's still people struggling with mental health issues. There's still sick people. There's still kids dying of diarrhea in other countries. There's still places with famine. There's places with drought. There's people that are lonely and isolated. There's, there's people with learning difficulties, disabilities. Every problem that existed a month ago still exists, and we have this thing on top of it, which is going to place enormous amount of economic stress as well as emotional drain and all these kinds of things on people. So don't be shit and only care about your one thing that's definitely your thing and the thing that annoys you the most. Take a minute to go, hang on a minute, we're all in this together all the time. And my aspiration for everybody is that everyone has access to all the tampons and toilet paper and food that they need, that they all have access to somewhere to stay, that they've all got people and communities around them to care about them and step up and look after them or their loved ones if they're feeling sick, so people don't get left behind. That's not shit. Really, really shit attitude to only ever care about stuff that happens to you or that you've seen or that, it's not a good thing. And that attitude sort of feeds into the whole panic buying stuff. We're like, well, it's just me, don't worry about it. People are struggling. We should do better for everybody all the time, regardless of what's going on, especially now because people are going to be hit with double, triple, quadruple whammies of challenges in this time, especially with the crazy reactions. So, look, the doctors and stuff are going to do what they're going to do to try and mitigate all of the risks. The public health people are going to tell us what to do, and they're going to shut stuff down, and it's going to be annoying, and there's not going to be sports, and there's going to be all this stuff. But it's to protect people, and yeah, it might not be there to protect me. And yeah, I may have originally thought when it very first happened, I was like, whatever, I'm like super low risk, it's not going to get me. I'm a strong guy and I'm not old. But turns out this thing whips around pretty quick, and if the healthcare system can't deal with it, then yeah, people are going to die unnecessarily, and that's not really fair, and we should do a better job of not being shit. So instead of ending up on people's tallies overseas for how insanely stupid and a bit shit Australians are being, why don't we just be a bit better and just be nice, look after each other, listen to what we're told to do, and just lump it. And guys, read a book or two. It's not going to hurt. Read a book. Don't waste your time just sitting on the internet all day, scrolling. Watch something, learn something, talk to someone on the phone, check in with people, meditate, go for a walk outside. Outside is still okay. Go for a swim, go to the park. Don't lick people. Don't cough on anyone. Be nice. Don't be shit. We can be better than this. All right. I think that's all.